So I preview and review Boruto episodes, but for the manga chapters I usually only review them. And for the last couple of months I've been getting many requests to, start previewing the chapters, because just, it will be cool to try and predict some things. And basically yesterday I tweeted out saying, guys, help me, what should I talk about in my next video? And one of the comments was, to talk about chapter 21 and to, make some predictions. And here I am finally starting, the previews for the manga. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, if you saw my video talking about Boruto's Jogen and Boruto's Seal, you will know that I think that one of these two things will appear in the next chapter. And I'm gonna quickly go over that because I want to talk about some other things as well. So first of all, why would the Jogen appear? Well, basically, Jogen could appear because of Boruto's lack of chakra. He's obviously going to use the scientific sword that Katasuki created, and he already held like a really powerful sword that drains out a lot of chakra in the anime, when he was fighting against Shizuma and the Jogen activated. So that's why, we might see Jogen. And if we see the fight between Ao and Boruto, it will be really cool to see Ao's Byakugan and Boruto's Jogen. As for the Seal, I actually want to add one thing that I got like in the comments of the video I made like 1 or 2 weeks ago. Shout out to Dark Alchemist. He basically, or she, I don't know, like the gender. This person basically said, like, at the start of this, arc, at the start of the Ao arc, Naruto basically told Sarada and Mitsuki, like, watch over Boruto's Seal, and that could be some type of, foreshadowing that we're gonna see Boruto's Seal on this mission. And, Boruto's Rasengan was absorbed by, the Seal a couple of chapters ago, and I feel like, in one of the next 2 or 3 chapters, like, we're definitely going to see the Seal. That's just a prediction of mine. And, then, it will be interesting to see Ao's reaction to the Seal. Now, I want to talk about some other things that I think might happen in the next chapter. So, obviously, at the end of the last chapter, which was the 20th chapter, Katasuki basically said that he wants to be a decoy. I hope I pronounced that properly. I just tend, to call it like the Tobirama Sanji role, if you get what I mean. And anyway, it looks like first it was going to be Konohamaru, but then, Katasuki said that he wants to do it. So it's probably going to be Katasuki and Konohamaru, and Boruto is probably going to fight with them, and they're going to, I don't know, search for Ao or something like that. Now, there's this popular theory that I've been seeing in my comment section, which doesn't seem too realistic, but I'm just gonna throw it in there, right? This is just a prediction video, like, you can't really go wrong. I mean, you can, but you get what I mean. So, assuming that Sarada and Mitsuki go back to the Hinleaf village to, like, leave the ninja scroll, whatever they, like, a ninja USB thing that they, took from the ship or whatever. Not the ship, but the airplane. Anyway, it was a blimp, to be more precise. But assuming that they go back to the Hinleaf village, they might encounter somebody on their way back to Konoha. And a lot of people said that it might be, Sarada and Mitsuki versus Kashin Koji, which would be very interesting. Now, obviously, we don't know the full power of Kashin Koji, but let's say Mitsuki pulls out a Sage Mode. Sage Mode makes you really powerful. And another interesting thing is the fact that Sarada's Sharingan still has 1 Tomo in her eyes, and maybe this would be a great opportunity for her to get the second Tomos on both Sharingans, because it's been a while since she got her Sharingan, and we really need to see it with, 2 Tomos in both eyes. Now, do I think that this thing will actually happen? I'm not entirely sure. Back when I heard this theory for the first time, I was more sure than I am right now. But I'm definitely sure that it's not gonna happen in the next chapter. But I think it is possible that on their way back to Konoha, they're gonna see somebody, or they're just gonna, decide to fight alongside Boruto. Now, as for Ao, I'm pretty sure that if we see Ao in combat in the next chapter, we're gonna see his Byakugan. That's what I think. They, mentioned that his nickname was the Byakugan Assassin or something like that, which really indicates that if not in the next chapter, in the next 2 or 3 chapters, we're definitely gonna see Ao's Byakugan in action. Now, since Boruto, took one of Katasuki's arms, which can supposedly absorb all jutsus, and since he took that sword, like I'm really questioning a lot of things here, like how powerful is he going to be with the sword? Because obviously in the anime he did practice with like a tiny sword in the mist arc. I mean, he didn't even practice, he just had a sparring match against Kagura, which he lost in basically like 10 seconds. So is he even skilled enough to fight with a sword? What is Konohamaru going to do? Are we finally going to see like his full power? Because he holds back all the time. A lot of people think that he could potentially, enter Sage mode. Maybe not in the next chapter, but at one point in the manga. Like, obviously, we don't even know if he has the Sage mode, but since he has the Toad summoning, a lot of people say that, hey, he, probably has a Sage mode. I don't know. But anyway, the thing is, when I did my chapter 20 review, I said how, chapter 20 was this transition chapter, because obviously everything before that was plot. I mean, chapter 20, we also had plot progression, but chapter 20 was mainly action. That's why I say it's a transition, something that needs to happen in order for us, to get into some new stuff, because obviously the fight ended, and now we have a direction that the manga is taking. Okay, Sarada and Mitsuki are going to the Hidden Leaf Village. Katasuke, Konohamaru and Boruto are gonna go fight against Ao. Ao and Boruto are gonna face off. It was a much needed chapter, which I thought was done. Like, I thought that chapter was done very well, and clearly because of that, the expectations for this chapter are high. At least, like, that's how I see it. Like, I have high expectations, and I think that everybody should have, because the manga, especially the last couple of chapters, always finishes with a big cliffhanger, and I feel like some things are going to be resolved in this chapter. Now, somebody asked me a couple of days ago about my predictions for this chapter. I think I got that question on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, what I said is, obviously my first point was, we're either going to see the Jogen or Boruto's seal. One of the points was, I think, that Kashin Koji could potentially meet, Sarada and Mitsuki. And another point that I made was we're gonna get a big revelation. Is that even a word? Okay. Anyway, why do I think that? I don't know. I just have a feeling. I don't know. I don't really know what to say to back it up. But I feel like something very important is going to happen in the next episode. Or I should say in the next chapter of the manga. Anyway, guys, that was your boy Hokage. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the next chapter of the Boruto manga. Is Boruto going to fight against Ao? Is it going to be only Boruto versus Ao? What is Katasuki going to do? Konohamaru, what's up with Sarada and Mitsuki? Are we going to see some Kara members as well? I really don't know. That was your boy Hokage. Twitter and Discord links are in the description below. As I said, comment down below. Let me know what you think or what you predict. If you're new to this channel and if you're into Boruto, consider subscribing. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.